Hey guys, it's Melissa with Up and Our Way, and we are in the fabulous Riviera Maya staying at an all-inclusive resort. One of the things that comes up in a lot of the travel groups I belong to is whether or not you should tip at an all-inclusive resort. And if you should, how much should you tip? So today we're going to talk about why you should tip and how much it is that you should be tipping at an all-inclusive resort. So let's get going. So first, should you tip at an all-inclusive resort? The answer is absolutely yes, and I'm going to tell you why. We've been to the Cancun Riviera Maya at all-inclusive resorts probably about a dozen times, and when we're there, we tend to make friends with the people that work at the resort. We speak Spanish, so it makes it a little bit easier for us to build relationships with the workers at the resort. So when we talk to them, we get to know them a little bit more, find out about their families, what they do outside of work, and also they're very open with us about what they make working at the resorts. So here's the thing, people. They make about $6 a day working at the resorts. Now, this is not a knock on the resorts at all. You're coming to the Cancun Riviera Maya area and you're paying a very reasonable rate. It's cheap to come here, and this is why a lot of people come to the Riviera Maya. And the resorts do take care of their employees. They'll provide food, transportation to the resort. Some have different perks like day passes and so forth. So $6 a day though is still not very much. And I know that when you stay at an all-inclusive resort, it says, everything's included, including tips. And that is true, but it's to a point. So depending on the resort, they're going to get a very small amount, like $25 a month, that is taken from what you pay at staying there, and it goes into a pool and is spread amongst the employees. So $25 a month is not a whole lot of money, and when you add to it the $6 a day, it's just not a very sustainable wage. And in the Riviera Maya, you think of Mexico and you think of cheap living, but in the Riviera Maya, or really any touristy area, the cost of living is going to be higher than in some areas of Mexico. And basically it's because people like us Americans might come here and decide to buy property here or live here for a while. It's going to drive up the cost of living a little bit. So that is one of the reasons why you should be tipping at an all-inclusive resort. Secondly, the service at all-inclusive resorts in Mexico are really second to none. We have been here, like I said, about a dozen times, and I don't think we've ever come and said, wow, we just didn't have great service, or we had mediocre service. Honestly, they are so grateful to be working. They are grateful for you to be here and supporting their economy, and they will just bend over backwards to make you happy. So that is another reason why you should tip when coming to an all-inclusive in Mexico. Now, what should you tip when you're coming here? And that's, really something that's probably quite personal. So I'm going to just give you an example of what we do. And, you have to adjust that a little bit based on maybe what you earn, what you can afford. You'll want to make sure you budget some money for tipping when you're coming to an all-inclusive resort like this. But, the amount that you're going to tip overall is going to be just based on what you're able to tip. And again, they are very grateful for whatever you can. So here's what we do. Okay, so first you come in, you check into the hotel, and usually you'll have a bellboy who will take you to the room, usually like in a golf cart, take your luggage. In our case, we're staying on the 3rd floor of the property. There are no elevators to that 3rd floor, and he lugged our bags upstairs, came in, explained a little bit about the resort and how things work, and so we tipped $5. Now, you may tip $1 a bag. I would say that's probably the minimum you should tip $1 a bag. We tipped $5, but again, it's what you can afford. So when you're out at restaurants, if you're going to buffet restaurants, well, I would say that tipping $1 or $2 is probably reasonable, because really they're just bringing your drinks and you're serving yourself your own food. If you are going to an a la carte for breakfast or lunch, I would suggest $3 to $5. We usually tip $3 to $5 for a la carte breakfast and lunch. At dinner time, you're going to have more courses coming in. So you'll have your appetizers, your entrees, desserts, probably several drinks. We'll usually tip anywhere from $7 to $10 for a la carte dinner. A lot of the all-inclusive resorts will also include room service in the price. but you want to tip the room service person, and they usually have to go a long way to bring you that food. We try to give $5 for room service. Okay, so you're at the beach, you're at the pool, you're getting drinks all day. What should you tip the people that are serving you drinks? We tend to tip $2 per round. And you know what, if we happen to miss a round, we don't feel too bad if we happen to be sitting in the pool, because we try to tip as they come around. You know, some people like to hang out at the pool bar, and maybe they will tip the bartender after, and you'll give them a larger tip, because you're not going to necessarily have cash on you when you're sitting at the pool bar, and that's fine. So just try to tip, when you can, tip at the end, tip at the beginning. If you did tip at the beginning, give them a good amount of money, maybe $10 for the day or something, and you'll never have an empty glass. Okay, so then it comes to your room. So you're gonna have maid service, and we tend to leave $5. I would say probably a reasonable amount could be anywhere from $2 to $5. We tend to leave $5, and we are always very happy with the service that we get with our room service. You can also leave a little tip in the mini bar, especially if you are wanting to have something special stocked in there. You can leave a note in there and leave a couple of dollars, and that'll go a long way to making sure that the mini bar is stocked with what you like. Additionally, a lot of resorts have turn down service. So with the turn down service, we leave typically $2. When tipping your maid, I don't recommend that you tip at the end of your stay. The reason being is that you may have different people that are cleaning your room throughout the week. Remember, people have days off. So leave your tip daily if you can. You're going to have people throughout the course of your stay that are just going to give you special service. That maybe it's somebody that you wouldn't normally tip. So for example, we have a guest services person at the place that we're staying who really went out of his way to make our stay more comfortable and just more spectacular, I guess. Enrique does not like seafood, and I love seafood. And one of the restaurants that I really wanted to go to was purely seafood. There were no other dishes available other than seafood. And so knowing that I wanted to go to this place, I just happened to ask guest services if there was something that we could do so I could go eat that seafood, and that Enrique could eat something else that he would actually enjoy. Well, he made the arrangements for a filet mignon to be served to him, and sure enough, when we got to the restaurant, they had a little note on there, and a filet mignon was served to Enrique, so he was able to eat steak while I ate seafood. So it was absolutely, guest services ended up making all the reservations for us during our stay here. We are staying during the pandemic, and so things are a little bit different, and reservations are required where we are staying for the few restaurants that are open. And so just the attention that he provided, he remembered our room numbers, he remembered what time that we like to go to dinner. It made life a lot easier for us, and just the special touch that he gave made it more special, where you just wanted to provide him some kind of compensation for making our stay just that much more special. But you're going to run into people like that all over the resort. There are so many friendly people in the Mexico area that really want to help you and make your stay just more comfortable and special. And just make sure you can recognize those people if you can. Those are the kinds of people that you're going to run into that just give you extraordinary service that you may want to tip at the end of your stay. And one of the things I need to mention is that you need to be sure that that person is working the day you're going to leave, or find out when their days off are so that you don't miss out on providing them the tip, because you would feel horrible if they provided you excellent service and you weren't able to give them a tip. In summary, should you tip at an all-inclusive resort? Yes. How much should you tip? Well, I gave you a ballpark of what we do, and it might be a little bit different for you. It's going to be dependent on your budget. Remember, you're saving a lot of money coming down to Mexico. It's a lot cheaper than going to some other places like in the Caribbean, for example. Just make sure you budget a little bit of extra money in your budget for tips. Remember, the staff don't make a lot of money, so whatever you can give, they'll be extremely grateful for. And again, this is a very personal choice. You're going to budget based on your experience, what you can afford, what the service was like. If you enjoy this content, please like this video. And if you want to see more like it, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel. All right, so that's all we have. We're going to go hit the beach now. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.